No cap, I'm pretty sure everyone and their grandma most likely knows about the ongoing beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And not to take anything away from one of the biggest rap beefs in history, it looks like there's another one going on that's even more serious that includes Drake within the city of Toronto, which has apparently reached a boiling point, with his mansion apparently getting hit up in a brazen late-night drive-by shooting
of Drake's home. It's not clear at this point what the nature of the investigation is. It's also unclear if this is connected to an overnight shooting that police have told us about in the area where shots rang.
But what if I told you that an almost identical attack went down just days ago in Los Angeles at EXO top manager Cash mansion in Encino?
Investigators, they're still trying to piece together exactly what led up to a shooting outside a music executive's house. Security guard was rushed to the hospital and the armed suspects are still on the loose.
This situation is honestly crazy and developing and could be a possible escalation in an already wild rap beef that honestly might just have some of the world's biggest pop stars included in it, in brazen crash out incidents that could soon end up being one of the most violent rap beefs in recent history, man. We're gonna get into it right now and everything that went down, because it's breaking news today, and honestly a lot of this might honestly get further updated later down the road, because this is all information that's coming out right now, man. So we're gonna tap into this right now. Real Estate Safe World, you already know what's going on. Tap into the link in the description for merch. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so whenever I tune in, y'all tune in right away, man. And any new viewers, make sure you follow, man. Let's get this up. We on the road to 100K subscribers, so man, let's get into this. Chapter 1. Shit hits the fan. Man, hip-hop fans today were woken up with some insane news that one of the biggest artists in the world, Drake's house, basically got shot up in a brazen late-night drive-by attack.
Everyone, I'm Inspector Paul Krofcheck of the Integrated Gun and Gang Task Force, and I'm pleased to be here today. I know there's a lot of interest in this incident, and I hope you can also appreciate that information is very limited at this time, so I only have so much. What I do know, I will advise you of, and I will take a few questions at the end. This morning at about 2 a.m., police were called to a shooting at the residence behind me here. When officers arrived, they located a male who was suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. That male was taken to hospital in serious condition. That person was working apparently as a security guard at the residence. He was standing outside of the gates in front of the residence when the shooting occurred. We have individuals who obviously performed the shooting who were seen in a vehicle. I do not have a description of the vehicle or the...
Initial reports came out that there was a shooting in the Bridle Path area of Toronto, a rich enclave in the city where the ultra wealthy have mansions. Initially, it was reported that it was on Drake Street, but people at first sort of dismissed it, you know, saying that it could have been something that was just in the area, which doesn't even make sense. Like, when are you really hearing about shootings in an area where billionaires live? Later, news came out that the whole incident that went down was apparently right at Drake's front door. There was actually another shooting following that close by too, and that a man had seriously been injured and rushed into emergency surgery. This later turned out that this man was Drake's security guard, personal bodyguard. Police responded to reports of a drive-by shooting outside of a Toronto property owned by Canadian rapper Drake, which left one victim badly injured. The shooting, which happened in the Ritzy Bridle Path neighborhood, took place at around 2:10 a.m. Police posted on social media. Officers found a man with serious injuries near the corner of Bayview and Lawrence Avenues, which is where the second shooting was, and he was taken to the hospital. The victim appeared to be a security guard for the rapper, according to CBC. Police said the suspects fled in a vehicle. Officials have not released a description of the alleged shooter or the car. Following this incident, there was reportedly a second shooting within that same area over on that Bayview Ave and Lawrence Ave area around 10 minutes later. While this incident is shocking in itself, it seems that it's almost a mirror incident from what went down in the 29th of April when a known op of Drake that has fans pointing fingers and authorities in Toronto apparently looking to contact authorities in Los Angeles too, man, which we're gonna get into right now in chapter 2. Toronto versus LA. It's no secret that Drake has a lot of ops right now. In fact, I'd probably say bro is damn near the Osama bin Laden of the rap game. Probably damn near gonna be hiding in a cave after all this. He basically said that he's gonna be cooperating with the authorities on everything, and a lot of people are saying that he's a snitch for that. But it's honestly, what else can you really do when your person that's working for you got shot? I think you're kind of forced to. I don't know Canadian law or anything like that, but I feel like you're probably going to be forced to cooperate as much as you know. Not that bro even knows anything. People are pointing fingers all over the place because Drake obviously has a lot of issues, not only within the US, but also within his city. It definitely does not look like it's all good in the 6. You know, a lot of people within Toronto talk about all the time that it's really a dog eat dog mentality within the Toronto rap scene. A lot of rappers have been gunned down, famous ones, Houdini, you know, Smoke Dogg. A lot of crazy shit has basically gone down within the Toronto scene. And currently, there's a lot of feelings going towards Drake in this because a lot of people feel that he has been taking advantage of the streets and basically using it to build his image while not really representing the city or keeping up with his promises of showing love to the city in that the way that he should, being the quote-unquote 6th god. For example, known shooter and troll Top 5, who's currently locked for allegedly shooting a college student in a failed drill, came out and said OVOK and that Drake hasn't done anything for the city. While he later came out and backtracked those statements, a video with Press's associate Bundog on live showed Top 5 essentially saying that OVO and Drake have to pay some type of fee if they're looking to get love in the city. Like I said, Top 5 later framed it as a joke, but in reality, I feel like this was a clear attempt at extortion, knowing that Top 5 has some pretty deep street ties and is apparently a crash out willing to take niggas out at a moment's notice. Drake was later seen commenting on this and joking about it, but I feel like he might have either slid some money his way or could be that Drake doesn't necessarily trust him and was just trying to laugh it off to try to, you know, keep a damage control. Regardless though, this is a clear example of how things are treacherous in the city for Drake. You don't really know who to trust. However, one group that he has been constantly antagonizing and dissing through his beef, besides Kendrick, has been The Weeknd's imprint XO. XO, with The Weeknd and his managers Cash XO and company, have pretty much been the second most dissed people in Drake's new songs, where he constantly said that they were fake, not up to shit, were junkies, blunt runners for his security guard Chubbs. But it seems the most overlooked detail of this that probably flew under the radar due to Drake's crazy rap beef with Kendrick was there was an almost identical incident that happened to Drake just several days ago in the Encino neighborhood in California, where Cash XO's $12 million mansion was shot up and his security guard was shot multiple times, which we'll get into right now.
After a security guard was shot while working at a $12 million home. NBC4's Gordon Tokumatsu is at the scene. Gordon, what do we know so far?
Well, Annabelle, it happened down this private driveway, which includes large and stately homes that are concealed from view by the main street by trees, hedges, and walls. It's a shooting that sent a security guard to the hospital at the home of a very important producer. Zillow lists a house here.
Police responded to a shooting that occurred at 2:25 a.m. at 17528 Jaden Lane. According to Officer A. De La Torre with the Los Angeles Police Department, a security guard was posted up at his post and heard multiple gunshots. It's at that point he realized he was wounded, De La Torre said. According to police, paramedics took the 37-year-old security guard to a hospital in unknown condition. De La Torre said the suspects who fled the scene were described as 3 males. The house is currently on sale for nearly $12 million according to Zillow, and it has 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, gated, hedged, and is equipped with a state-of-the-art security system. And the homeowner is none other than Amir Cash Essamilian, a music executive and the founder of XO Records. And he's linked to some of the biggest hip-hop artists right now, including Belly, Nav, and The Weeknd, who's the most streamed artist in the world. It's almost crazy to see that both of these groups of crash outs really pulled up to each of these individual houses at around 2 a.m. both times. The Drake one was at 2 a.m., the Cash one was at 2 a.m. And the only people injured in this were their bodyguards. Imagine having to put your life on the line for XO, or imagine going out telling your wife that you love her and you're putting your life on for OVO. At first, it seemed like both of these incidents could pretty much go unsolved, but it seems like there's some type of joint task force between both of these cities crossing international lines that's going to be looking at both of this and investigating, which is honestly the first time that I've ever heard of something going on like this, crossing international lines, man. And it really, to me, is, I don't even know. It seems stranger than coincidence that these dudes pull up both around the same time late at night, murk these people's houses, and hit up their security guards, bro. It seems like there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. We don't really know what it is, but it's definitely not looking good. And many people are comparing it to a new era version of the West Coast, East Coast beef. But instead, it's between Toronto and LA. And many have chosen their sides. But now, we really gotta wonder how we even got to this point in the first place. Chapter 3. Obviously, it seems that things are completely getting out of control, when literally some of the biggest artists in the planet, between Drake and The Weeknd, could be getting involved in some pretty serious altercations. It is many wondering how in the world did things even get to this point. Many point to the fact that The Weeknd at the beginning of his career had close ties to OVO and even worked on 4 songs on his Take Care album, you know, OVO XO, they were all like tied in. Drake apparently was looking to sign him, and The Weeknd apparently was not about it. Ever since then, it seemed like their relationship was on shaky ground. It honestly is a great thing that The Weeknd didn't sign, because while Drake has success like Party Next Door, and really, that's kind of really it. A lot of people have never really materialized their careers or gotten forgotten about. You know, McConan, Roy Woods, where's Magic Jordan? Even Forbats having issues with this promo, basically posting a tweet asking Kendrick to chill out because all the attention was getting taken away from his newest release. The Weeknd had been talking about it for years, with fans even speculating that he was talking about Drake in Sidewalks when he said that there's a lot of niggas that think they made him. Things basically took a turn for the worse when The Weeknd joined Future and Metro Boomin on his projects, basically singing alongside and basically saying thank God that he didn't sign his life away. At the same time, shortly after those songs came out, is when this first shooting went down. It was before all this serious stuff happened with Drake and stuff. Fast forward now, we have an almost identical shooting and a lot of people just sitting there scratching their heads, wondering how things even got to this point. Honestly, I really don't think that this is going to be the end of it. If I were to guess, there's going to be something crazy that goes down. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is already crazy as it is. I mean, apparently fans in London have even spray painted on Drake's store saying they not like us and stuff like that. It's honestly getting out of hand. But I really feel that the way that Drake moves might have something to do with it. I just feel like he has made so many enemies that it seems like the common theme here is he has probably been doing things dirty, that all these dudes be going like this, and he at the same time be pretty much underestimating his enemy. You know, a lot of times people probably in those scenarios just be thinking that they could just do whatever because they're rich and famous and they're the big top dog, that they really think that they could just move however, and they underestimate their enemies. And this is definitely the case, because other people have bread. There's a lot of other crash outs, especially coming to LA. Drake has a lot of time that he's gonna have to be looking over his shoulder, because if it's happening in your own city that people are pulling out, so imagine how it is in LA right now. And the thing is, Drake has to go to LA. It seems like nowhere is safe with him. He's probably mad paranoid. I mean, I've already heard stories before that he would have his whole security detail basically pull up and scope through rooms before he would go through. But the crazy thing about that is like, bruh, now these security guards, do you really think that they're really gonna want to put their lives on the line now, just seeing that bro just got shot up multiple times? Bro's going to emergency surgery right now, man. You think people are really gonna be putting their lives on the line for Drake the same way that they were? Maybe he could pay them enough, but honestly, I don't know if there's enough money on the line for anyone involved to want to put their life on the line in that way. And we're honestly gonna find out if there are. And it feels like these security guards probably were living cool, feeling they were good, because there wasn't really a lot of crazy stuff going on. But now that push comes to shove, he's really gonna see if money can make up for these street ties. But I really feel like Drake is in a precarious situation, because all the street ties that he has are pretty much people, not gonna say they're extorting him, but I'd say they're damn near taking advantage of him. We got Jay Prince in Houston, who's known for extorting artists and pretty much probably has been extorting Drake ever since he came up and discovered him. We got his ties through the city of Toronto. You know, he has ties with, you know, the Driftwood Crips and stuff like that, and different ties within the city that could bring heat to him, or just him getting extorted because he's trying to find someone to trust. But the way that he moves just seems too snake-like to trust. Don't even talk about Atlanta, because Future and them have a pretty strong chokehold, so he can't even trust people there, bro. Drake is probably gonna go deep into hiding. This incident honestly probably helped him in the beef, because now he doesn't even really need to respond, because it's not the most serious thing that's basically going on. He's probably gonna go into hiding, and he probably, for good reason, is not gonna continue this, because he's gonna just try to figure out what he can do to try to stay safe, man. But at the end of the day, that's what's going on. It's like real ties versus paid ties. That's just how I feel about it. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think about this, man. Real safe shit. You already know what's going on. Like, comment, subscribe. Any new viewers, we're on the road to 100K subscribers, so tap in with that. Gang, gang. Peace.